Hi, Manga Common here. So I was perusing through the Twitter timelines when I saw something retweeted by quite a few people, and I thought to check it out.
I'm the hero that Gotham deserves.
Listen, you're not a hero, you're a cop.
Shut up, fool. Stop your jibber jabber.
Yeah, no he's not. Batman is not a cop. By textbook definition, he's a vigilante. Now you may be wondering, my friends, what the hell are you looking at with this terrible art? Well, this, my friends, is a huge Twitter comic thread basically taking a huge dump on the Batman mythos. And I say that as not being the biggest fan of Batman, but still knows of his history and legacy. And let me tell you, there have been quite a few times where Batman has worked with the police. He isn't one of them. Did you forget that in one of the most iconic versions of Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy, he's actively pursued by the cops? Heck, he only works with Gordon because he's the uncorruptible cop that he's seen.
Don't turn around. You're a good cop. One of the few.
Even in the animated series, the police don't trust Batman because of his vigilante ways and how he hides his face behind a mask. But hey, don't let that get in the way of a good character assassination. So join me, my friends, as we continue through this downward spiral of insanity, and we talk about how this comic is just plain stupid. Also, I love how it's being used to prop up a certain political mindset at the cost of making Batman look like a ninny. Lovely.
You want to be a hero? You're a billionaire. How about you invest your excessive wealth into the community?
And if you look to your left, folks, you can see that this person has never actually read a Batman comic before in his entire life. Bruce Wayne already does this. In the comics, Bruce Wayne routinely gives back to the community of Gotham City with charities. There are quite a few times we see this. One of the most notable times would have to be in the Court of Owls comic book. As you can see from this page right here, we can see that he's already donating to make the community better. But if you want a more prominent example, let's talk about the Alfred Wayne Foundation. There's a long story right there. Alfred died, Bruce made it up to him, but Alfred came back to life, so it was renamed to the Wayne Foundation. It's comic books, okay? The foundation was used to help people in many different ways. In one portion, it was made to use for research in order to help people who were mutated to get back to their original forms. Then there were the other parts, like the Thomas Wayne Foundation, which was used to make medicine and medical help. The Martha Wayne Foundation is actually a patron and supporter of the arts, family, education, and tolerance. It runs several dozen soup kitchens, provides grants to artists and family finders, which is a service that reunites broken families. Through the Wayne Foundation and the organizations underneath it, Wayne not only addresses the social problems encouraging crime and assists victims in a way his Batman persona cannot, but the arrangement also provides a large network of connections in the world of charity. It's basically helping the city through his money. So yeah, he is funneling his fortune into the community. Way to show that you don't know what you're talking about.
I give back. I run an orphanage.
Yeah, for tax reasons.
Citation needed here, buddy. I provided my sources. Where's yours? Oh wait, you're just referencing The Dark Knight Rises. Did you forget how that movie ends? After Batman's fake death at the end of the movie, we learn that Bruce left half of his rebuilt Wayne Manor and much of his fortune to the orphanage, and we can assume that the kids will be raised in said mansion. How is he doing it for tax reasons? And even more so, why is that even a counter to his argument? Yeah, he's doing it for tax reasons, but he's still helping people. You can still get some benefits while doing some good things for other people. And also, like I stated with the Wayne Foundation, the Martha Wayne portion runs several orphanages and also offers free education.
For perspective, with your wealth, you could probably literally afford to give $1,500 to everyone in Gotham who doesn't make a living wage. In fact, this may actually reduce crime more than you running around every night as the world's most expensive cop, since less people would need to resort to crime to survive.
This is starting to sound like a bad comic book plot. It gets worse.
This has got to be the stupidest take I've ever heard. I'm not going to repeat myself with the Wayne Foundation, but $1,500 for every non-working person. You do realize that wouldn't be a lot of money, right? That would probably go by. What happens when that money runs out? Do you expect Bruce to keep giving handouts to everyone like that every month or so? This also ignores the fact that supervillains are a thing. Oh yes, people like the Joker are doing it for money. Not. Clayface, Bane, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze? Yeah, give them $1,500. That'll make them stop their crimes. In fact, most of the criminals that Batman fights aren't even poor. They are largely supervillains, wealthy mob bosses, corrupt businessmen, and even corrupt cops. What are you even going on about? Are you talking about the goons? I mean, they didn't have to take this kind of job. And even then, you're kind of misrepresenting Batman right here, right off the bat. Boo! We then go into the
How much does Batman cost?
portion of this comic, which, you know, has a lot of assumptions here and depends on which lore you're looking at. In some lore, Batman did hire contractors, but at the same time, there were other times where Batman and Alfred were the only ones who built the Batcave. But hey, I guess he's now mixing up the lore here, so that's fun. But does that mean you're allowed to ignore all the jobs and support that the Wayne Foundation does when it suits your narrative? Hooray!
Also that every night you can punch like 2 people in the face while you wait for the real cops to show up.
Well, that's not reductive at all. Like I said, most of Batman's villains are corrupt businessmen, mob bosses, supervillains. You make it out like he's acting like Spider-Man.
I make people happy. I'm a symbol of hope.
That's Superman. Batman is a symbol of fear.
Joy, but as a symbol. As a symbol, I can be incorruptible. I can be everlasting.
What symbol?
Something elemental, something terrifying.
Jeez, you can't even be consistent with what you're referencing.
Okay, so here's actually a good way to make people happy.
Dr. Feelgood's in the house. Lay it on me, you oddly blob-shaped white thing.
Why don't you take the billions of dollars you would have otherwise hoarded or spent on your extravagant lifestyle and buy a major pharmaceutical...
You really cannot make this stuff up. Batman does that. I went over it with the Wayne Foundation.
Is this some kind of twisted joke?
He also provides free education. This has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever... I kind of love how this guy just portrays Bruce Wayne, Batman, as like this big evil guy. When if you actually look towards, say, like the animated series, you'll see that one of Bruce Wayne's nightmares is this. Damn, that's pretty deep. I forgot why I liked this show.
How much is Alfred making?
He is not a slave.
Whoa, dude, I never said he was.
Okay, I'm going ad-lib right now because these voices are really wrecking with my throat. I don't know, man. You've kind of given me that vibe that this character of yours would make that assumption of Batman.
Alfred has a comfortable life.
Oh my god, how did they do this voice so much in the movie?
I live in Master Bruce's manor because I cannot afford the prohibitive cost of living in Gotham.
Alfred lives with Bruce because he raised Bruce and thinks of him as family. This has been established multiple times. Plus, if we can assume Alfred is being paid an average butler's salary, that would mean he's making between $50K to $100K a year. The fuck is this even about?
I bet Robin isn't even being paid.
Before I tear this apart, dude, when did Batman become the Claw? Now, which Robin are you talking about? Are you talking about Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake? Because all 3 of them were actually adopted by Batman, and we can assume aside from, you know, Jason Todd, that most of them got their own living expenses. They were treated like family. And considering the fact that, well, if you look at some things, like in the TV shows or the comics, you can see they got furnished apartments, I think it's safe to assume that they are given pretty much a lot of good money. Are you talking about Damian Wayne? You know, the son of Bruce Wayne, who showed up one day and decided to, you know, use his own assassin skills to fight crime because he could.
You're right, Father. When can I start having sex?
I think I hear the bat signal.
The bad guy?
Yes, there are no ethical billionaires.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
How old did you say you were, Fossil?
Despite the fact that he's already doing the solution that you yourself suggested, took in about 3 orphans, has saved countless lives, and even the world quite a few times. What? Batman couldn't be any further from being a bad guy. He has saved the city of Gotham and the world from destruction countless times. He's worked tirelessly to reform even his most deadly enemies. He's even tried to talk to the Joker and get him to come down. And then he spends his days running charity organizations and building industry to revive the city. I'm all for making fun of characters and making a point with the characters, but this is just reeking of some political...
Also, superhero films are police and military propaganda.
What the hell are you thinking?
Which is why in the Dark Knight trilogy we're shown there to be crooked cops and to make the Force look like imbeciles. Have you never seen a movie about superheroes where the army is shown to be incompetent? Have you even seen a superhero movie? That's the vibe I'm getting. The cops and military are shown to be incompetent all the time. And there it is. There's the reason. Basically politicizing a character and making them look worse just so you can drum up some support. If you have to do that, then it's kind of pathetic in my eyes. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm Manga Comment, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day.
Well, that was fun. Who's for Chinese?